This episode of Juice Guru Radio is brought to you by PlantBased, making healthy living easy.
Welcome to Juice Guru Radio. Discover what the magic and power of juicing can do for you. And now, your host, best-selling author of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Juice Fasting, Steve Prusak.
Well, hello, I'm Steve Prusak. Welcome to the show. We've got Gina Bonanno-Lemos here, founder of 360 Health Connection, the award-winning author of What the Fork, The Secret Cause of Disease, and popular ebook, 13 Steps to a Cancer-Free Kitchen. She's going to be here on the show. So get yourself some water, some tea, or juice. We'll be back right after this with Gina Bonanno-Lemos. Hi, this is Steve, and getting off sugar changed my life. I get the juices in, but I was still having issues. I want to help you get off sugar with Sugar Busters. It's our 6-week easy sugar detox program designed for getting lean and a new healthy you. Find out more about it at juicegurutribe.com. That's our Facebook community where we're talking about it, we're promoting it. So go to juicegurutribe.com and find out how to get in on Sugar Busters. Join the tribe, transform your life. I'm excited to connect with you. juicegurutribe.com.
Juice Guru Radio.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Steve Prusak. So happy to be with you. Hello, everyone. Our live audience here with us behind the scenes. Thanks for being here. I'm Steve Prusak. And it's a great topic. We're talking with Gina Bonanno-Lemos, how the microwave destroyed human health. Thousands of interviews, never really talked about this, and it's so important. Gina, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a rather humid day here in California, but thank you for taking the time to dust off and join us.
Why, thank you.
I don't know if the word's dust off, but hey, I said it. But anyway, thank you. Gina, and you're doing incredible work there. Let's dive into this, though, the microwave oven. Everyone's always asking about them. Are they safe? And it's just so easy to prepare food. What are some of the issues with microwave ovens? I want to talk a little about your background, how you got into all this. So let's start with that. How did you get into all this? Let's talk a little about your journey, which I know you share in your book. I loved your book. Can you share a little about your journey, how you got into all this, the work that you're doing now?
Yeah, I actually spent decades just being sick and not finding answers in conventional medicine or actually even with holistic doctors. And a friend of mine shared with me that she became vegan, and I thought she was nuts. And then I found out that she actually cured her heart disease by going vegan. And her boyfriend also had severe diabetes, type 2 diabetes, was taking insulin every day, and he cured his diabetes by going vegan, lost a bunch of weight. It also cured up her eczema. So it caught my attention, and, long story short, after much kind of in, kind of out, and doing a lot of research, the science was really clear. And what really cinched it for me was the animal cruelty side of things. That really pushed me over the edge. That was, the final straw. And within months of going plant-based, all of my health issues basically vanished. Allergies, asthma, chronic sinus infections, cystic acne, all kinds of stuff that nothing was really life-threatening, but it really was life-altering in that it changed the way I lived my life, what I could and couldn't do, where I could go, where I couldn't, what I wore on a daily basis, and just, self-esteem, of course, and not having energy to do the things that I really wanted to do with my life and be there for my family in the way that I wanted to be. So that really was the impetus, was just me seeing this huge change, this monumental change in my health within such a short period of time. So I went back to school, got certified in integrative nutrition, and then I went on to get certified in vegan nutrition and wrote my book, started my company, and here I am.
And I know you get the juices in there too, don't you?
Yeah, that was a big change. Your book really set me on the path. I now just cannot live without my juices.
Yeah,
So,
we've got to get you as a certified juice therapist. You'd be perfect to ignite the revolution along with us.
I would love that.
But an amazing journey and great lessons along the way, eye-opening, as we know when we dive into this lifestyle, how much is being hidden from us. And what was that like for you to find out the truth and being a mom and wanting to educate your family about this? How did that journey go for you?
It was, as I'm sure, you've had the same experience. It's bittersweet. It's like you're so excited, but then you realize what you've been putting in your children for decades. It's shocking.
And what we were putting in ourselves, ourselves for decades too, right?
Right. Yeah. But as a parent, I almost think, and I don't know if this is this way with everybody, but I care more about what I'm giving my kids, It's like, gosh, they're just starting life and I'm supposed to take care of them and I'm supposed to look out for them and protect them from all the bad stuff. And here I thought I was doing what was right because I was eating what everybody always said was healthy. Everybody thinks, oh, when they hear my story, oh, you must have been eating like the SAD diet, standard American diet. And that wasn't actually the case. I was really into health and fitness and working out every day. So I was eating chicken and turkey and fish and whole grains, never the processed refined carbohydrates, always a fruit or vegetable with every meal. So I thought I was doing the right thing. I was doing what the experts said was healthy, but I was still sick all the time. So, yeah.
Right. All those health magazines and everything, the bodybuilding or whatever, the fitness. That's what they say was the best way to go.
Yeah.
So what about the microwave oven? What's the problems with the microwave oven so people are aware of, the issues?
Well, the title of my talk is a little deceiving. Yes, there are issues with the microwave oven. I mean, there are studies showing that it does give off some radiation and it does change the molecular structure of food in a way that makes it, at minimum, not nutritious, no longer nutritious, but at worst, carcinogenic and pollutes your body full of toxins. But what I really meant in the title of my talk more was that our society has become this, instant gratification society. And when this really hit me was, believe it or not, one day, one of my kids, my oldest, my son, when he was a teenager, he came in and he was trying to get a hold of a friend. And he said, I've been calling, but the phone's making a really weird noise. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He said, well, it just keeps going, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a busy signal, and it hit me in that moment. Our kids have never heard a busy signal. They've never had to wait for anything. They have that instant gratification. And even, at our age, because I think you and I are about the same age, in our 40s, we've even grown up. I started thinking back to when did this happen, and how has this affected the way we live our lives and how we look at things, and especially health, because of course I'm so focused on, health issues. But I realized you can really trace it back to the microwave. That's when things started to become, I want it and I want it right now, and I don't want to have to wait. And, technology just gave us so much so that we don't have to wait anymore.
It's kind of like, when you think about it, it was like the first smartphone. You were pressing the buttons on there and hitting go. It was like your first app was a microwave, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. And it just, we kept developing more and more technology to where people wanted that instant gratification. And I think that has really translated into our health system, or really our sick system, because people don't want to have to wait. I talk to people all the time when I speak at events or, when I used to coach people, and they want that quick fix. They want to go to the doctor and get a pill, and they almost don't care that they're not curing themselves, that they're just covering up symptoms. And it's really sad because it always leads to more health issues. There's always, drawbacks. There's always side effects to every medication. But trying to get through to people and explaining to them, look, you didn't get sick overnight. You may now just be experiencing a symptoms, right? Like it takes on average about 10 to 15 years from the time you start developing cancer to the time you actually have the symptoms of cancer or a visible tumor. So you didn't get sick overnight. You're not going to get healthy overnight. You can start feeling better really quick, but to really get over a very serious health issue like heart disease or cancer or diabetes or anything else, it's going to take a little bit of time. And people just don't want to wait for that anymore. And I think it's really sad. I think it's really cost our country and around the world, the countries who've adopted our way of eating, they're kind of in the same boat.
So of like a quick fix, society we're living in, a little bit of a disconnect with the digital devices and less face-to-face interaction and getting in there and building community the way we used to when we were kids.
Right. Yeah. And that's a big part of health. I mean, if you look at the blue zones where they studied, and distilled it down to, I think it was 7 different tenets of people who live up to and over 100 years old without any disease. One of those tenets was social interaction, having community and having family. And yeah, everybody's really just wanting to, get in, get out, even when they go to the doctor. And I know a lot of people say, well, doctors don't have a lot of time to spend with people anymore. And that is true, because of health insurance. But I found that the patients don't really want to spend the time either. They really don't want to talk about diet, exercise, they just give me a pill, doc, give me a prescription. Let me be on my way,
Well, and I also hear the same thing, studies that say attention spans, we have like the attention span of a goldfish now. Our attention spans have really gone down as a society at this point.
Yeah, I believe it.
Are you guys still
sad.
tuned in? Are anybody still listening out there? I have to keep the shows really short, Gina. We got to, we got to match it. It is
right.
crazy. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom, though. I mean, people need to know they need to wake up. I mean, the first thing we're saying is wake up to this, right? Wake up to what's going on around us so we can start to change, because these aren't healthy patterns. None of what you're talking about.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Dr. Phil always says that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So the first thing we need to do is acknowledge that we have this issue, acknowledge that we are really just not looking at it in the right way, that we don't want to just, I think a lot of doctors use that analogy, that if a light was flashing on your dashboard telling you there was something wrong with your engine, you wouldn't take a hammer and, smash it so that it doesn't light up anymore. You'd figure out what's wrong with the car. So, and it's very true. We need to look at our bodies as a machine, because that's really what it is, a machine that's run on autopilot, and it can only function as well as what food we're giving it, or, to use the car analogy, what gasoline we're putting in it. You wouldn't take a car and put sugar water in the tank, because we all know it's not going to run. But yet we think that we can do that with our bodies, and they're just going to keep going and going because we haven't collapsed. And, as they say, the absence of, the absence of illness doesn't mean that there's no disease. It just hasn't shown its face yet. It hasn't materialized. So, yeah, people need to realize, number one, prevention. Prevention is absolutely key. But once you have something, you've got to take the time. If you really want to get over it and you don't want to end up with additional health issues, you've got to take the time and care. And, as I said in my notes to you, it's one of the most selfless things we can do, because when, if you think about it, when you have a family member that you really love and they're ill, or, God forbid they have a very serious life threatening disease, as I have in my family right now, it takes the attention of everyone in the family, and it doesn't allow you to live and do the things that you need to do. I'm in that boat right now. I've got a mom with stage 4 cancer, and I'm, kind of debating, do I schedule a second health conference for this upcoming year? What if something happens to her? It's like, it affects everyone in the family. And, especially, and if you've got young children, it affects them. So it's really one of the selfless things that you can do, is to take care of yourself so that you can be there for your family, so that you don't have to, burden them with and I hate to use that word because it sounds cold, but, you don't want to stress them out. You don't want them worried about you 24/7 and not sleeping at night. And, So yeah, for all the moms out there who think that it's selfish, it's totally the opposite.
So and I can relate to that. I've had family members. My dad had a heart attack a few months ago. So I understand. Now we finally got the juices in them,
Oh, good.
But that's what it took. We want to inspire our friends and family and get this message out there. So if you're listening, share this interview, share this knowledge so we can inspire more people. So Gina, as you took the journey and you made these changes, what else did you notice? Were there any regrets? What were some of the pitfalls and stumbling blocks as you started to eat plant foods and drink juices and things like that? Any regrets?
Honestly, the only regret I've ever had is that I didn't wake up to it sooner. I regret being so stubborn and closed-minded, because of course I had heard about a plant-based diet earlier in life, but I really didn't look into it. I thought that it was just, some crazy thing that people do when they don't understand nutrition. And so I didn't take the time. And so I really wish I had opened my heart and my mind sooner. But that's the only regret I have ever had. And, as far as stumbling blocks, I really didn't have a lot. Of course, I had to get my family to open up to it a little bit, but once they saw my health completely turn around, that really opened their hearts and minds. So, that I would say was probably one of the initial ones. And then of course, knowing what to do, just knowing what to eat. Oh my gosh, it was so different because, like I said, as I got older, I started to eat quote unquote healthy. But when I was younger, I ate anything and everything. I grew up in my parents' Italian deli. So we ate whatever.
What did you say? Was it a deli, you said?
Yeah. Yeah. My family had a deli for about a dozen years. And so, yeah, talk about a meat-based diet. Yeah. So I did not grow up anywhere near a plant-based diet, but, just figuring it all out, trying to piece it all together. I only had that one friend who's plant-based, and I didn't want to bug her too much. So I was trying to figure it out all on my own. Which is why I created, my training program and my conference, because I wanted to give people, a real step-by-step plan and everything that I wished I had had.
Yeah, let's talk a little about that, because Julie and I were lucky to be part of your conference. I love that, how that just kind of manifested, and love the work you're doing. So can you share that with our listeners, all the incredible things you're up to right now?
Thank you. Yeah. So I just had the two-day plant-based conference in May. It was, by all accounts, a big success. Everybody who came just loved it and gave me really great reviews. Can't wait to come back for the next one in 2019. So I'm looking to keep this going as an annual thing. But where it's different than most conferences is that it's more geared towards actual training versus the rah, motivation. Here's why you should do it. We're actually showing people how to do it. And they go home and they all get recipes for a full month. They get training guides. They get how-to books. how to order in any restaurant, sample ideas of meals that they can order when they're out with friends and family. And so I wanted it to be really different. I wanted it to be fun. So we had the Saturday night dance party, we did the yoga class on Sunday morning. And so, we had vendors there selling really great stuff, had a lot of great vendors, but looking to do that again, probably first weekend of April of 2019.
Nice. And what's the best way for because the name of the book is What the Fork? The Secret Cause of Disease. And that's available up on Amazon. But what's the best way for our listeners or viewers to follow the work you're doing and check out the upcoming conference and all?
Sure. They can go to my website, which is 360healthconnection.com. And it's the numerals 360healthconnection.com. They can sign up to get my free ebook, the 13 Steps to a Cancer-Free Kitchen. They'll be put on my mailing list, and I'll be sending out, some save the date emails and some early bird specials that are going to be phenomenal. So people definitely do not want to miss that. But that's probably the best way. And then if they want to reach me on social media, Facebook, they can get me at 360 Health Connection, on Instagram. Those are the two that I'm really on quite a bit. Instagram, I'm at my full name, Gina Bonanno-Lemos. So.
Love it. I love, and this is a great talk. I love the way you tied in the attention with microwaves, with health, with everything being connected. That's great. So Gina, anything we didn't touch on that you wanted to share before we close out the iHeartRadio portion of the show and take questions from our studio audience here?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Okay. So then I'll say, any final words of advice for those that are on the fence? They're drinking their juices. They're kind of, they're hearing about these other diets like paleo or keto or these crazy diets out there, and seeing people losing weight but dying young. Right. Any final words of advice to clear the way? Because it's a world of confusion out there when it comes to what we should be eating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know paleo and keto are really popular right now. And, I'm along the lines of thinking with Dr. John McDougall. He always says people love to hear good things about their bad choices.
That's a good one.
And I think that kind of sums up keto and paleo. But once you understand the science of it, you understand that you may lose weight, but what it's doing to your body internally, what it's doing to your microbiome and your gut, what it's doing to your arteries, what it's doing to your epigenetics. That's something that I'm really passionate about, is epigenetics, and how things, our lifestyle choices and our environmental toxins affect us on a genetic level and change how our genes express themselves. Once you understand that, you understand that there's no way long-term paleo and keto could ever be healthy. As I typically tell people, and it's a little harsh, but I say, if you want to be a thin corpse, go for it. You will look great in your casket, but
that is hard. That is harsh.
It's a little harsh. I know. I tell people I'm kind of the Dr. Phil of health. I kind of tell it like it is. I don't pull any punches. People's lives are at stake. We can't afford really to play nice, because there's forces on the other side who are fighting dirty and telling lies and misleading people. And, sometimes you just got to shake people awake. And when you understand too, one thing I would tell people to look into if they really question whether or not paleo and keto are the way to go, and whether or not they're legitimate, is that they look into something called new 5GC, which is a sugar molecule that we used to be able to process as humans, but we lost the ability somewhere around 2 to 3 million years ago. So we used to be meat eaters, but we have evolved. We actually lost the ability to process that sugar molecule that's found in every single animal food. And so what happens is our bodies actually react to that as an autoimmune response. So it goes into full-blown autoimmune response with inflammation and, just all that damage. So we are not supposed to eat animals anymore. I believe we used to. I believe that our bodies used to be able to, but we're not supposed to anymore.
Again, thank you again, Gina Bonanno-Lemos. Thank you so much for being here on the show, the incredible work you're doing. We'll have the link up to your website up at juicegururadio.com. So be sure to check out everything Gina's up to. Again, the book, What the Fork, recommended. I read it myself, highly recommended. It's on my list. Gina, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Steve.
I'm Steve Prusek, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Juice Guru Radio. Find out more about us at juicegururadio.com. Until next time, get your juice on.